Welcome to our scarf wearing workshop at the Ashland branch of the Pamunkey Regional Library. I am Carol, your host for today. Our models are members of the Ashland branch staff. Let's have some fun. Elizabeth is going to show us our first scarf for today. This one is called the Pretzel. And she's going to fold the scarf in half and wrap it around her neck with the loop on one side. And she's going to pull one end of the loose end through the scarf, through the loop. She's going to take the other one and put it across the top loop, pull it through and pull it in the opposite direction from the first. And then we have a pretzel, which will usually stay put all day long. Okay, and now she's going to show us a variation on that, which we call the double half loop. She's going to start the same way by having the scarf folded in half. She's going to wrap it around her neck to allow the loose ends on one side and the loop on the other. She's going to take one end and pull it through the loop, and then she's going to tie the two loose ends together. And you can do this at different heights. You can do it either further down and create a second loop, or you can do it up close to your neck, either way. And then you can have the ends, you can wear it off to the side like Elizabeth has it, you can wear it in the center, or you can put it over your shoulder. And we can see that second loop there. That's very good. Thank you. Next we have Miss Maddie up. Take off the mask. Now remember all those times when you love your infinity scarf, but you don't always have one available. This is how you make one out of any scarf you have available. Just take the scarf, take the opposite corners, or two opposite corners, and tie them together. And she's going to place it over her neck, and she's going to loop it and take it over her neck again. Instant infinity scarf. Very good. Now let's do something else with that scarf. We're going to try this time just a simple neck knot. Maddie is going to wrap the scarf around her neck twice. And then she's going to take the two ends and tie it up close to her neck. And then she can toss one end over the back and one end down front, and very nice, simple neck knot. And you can knot it a second time too if you want to. A variation on that, when you've got a scarf with lots of different colors or textures, it can be interesting to twist that, and Maddie is showing us how to twist it until you've got a long twist, and wrap that around your neck twice, and tie the same kind of knot. And the twisting can bring out the colors and textures in different ways. So, simple variation there. Okay, let's do a false knot next. Maddie is going to take the scarf and she's going to tie a loose knot in the center of the scarf. And she's going to place it around her neck with the knot in the front. So each end is going to be wrapped all the way around her neck. And then she's going to take those two ends one at a time and put them through the knot. And then if you take the original piece of the scarf that has the knot in it and pull those ends tight, it will tighten up the knot. There you go. And see, it looks like you've got a nice knotted bow there, but without tying the bow. Now, variation on that, another false bow, a little bit different. Maddie is going to move that knot down to about a foot from the end of the scarf. Just a simple overhand half knot. And again, do it loosely. Okay, she's going to put that around her neck with the knot towards one side of the neck. And she's going to wrap the other end around. Move it to the other side, Maddie. There you go. And she's going to accordion fold the other end of the scarf, the loose end. Just a simple accordion fold, back and forth, back and forth. And you want to do this up as close, or accordion fold it up as close to your neck as you can get. And it takes to have good finger dexterity for this one. And when you get done, you pull it through the knot from the bottom. You pull it halfway through, just halfway, then pull down on the piece with the knot to tighten the knot up and fluff your bow out from both sides. And this has a nice drapey bow on one side. And it's especially good worn off to the side or over the shoulder. Thank you, Maddie. Next, we're going to have Channing come up and show us how to do a hidden knot. She's going to start by wrapping the scarf all the way around her neck. And then she's going to tie a knot in it up close to her neck. And she tied it twice, so it's not going to come loose. Then she's going to reach in and get the part that's around the neck and pull that over the knot. And you have a nice cowl neck look there with your front hanging down and no visible knot. Very nice. Okay, and something else to do with that nice long scarf. We're going to start by having roughly equal ends. You're going to take one side and put a half knot in it. Now this one you can put that knot up close to your neck, or you can put it in the middle of your chest, or you can put it down low. But you pull the other side, the loose end, through that knot from the top, adjust the ends to make them even, then pull on the side with the knot from the bottom to tighten the knot up. And you can wear that necklace style or tie style or any other way you'd like. And now if you don't want to do that style, something similar though, but more of a casual feel to it, is to just take your long scarf and in the middle of it somewhere, tie yourself a pretty bow, just like you tie your shoes. And then fluff it out, and you've got a nice casual necklace style scarf. Very nice. Thank you, Channing. Now we have Elizabeth coming back to show us a waterfall. This may be one of the most complicated ones we'll do today, but we'll try to break it down all the pieces and make it easy for you. You do need a fairly long scarf for this one. Elizabeth is going to put it around her neck with one end hanging lower than the other. Okay, she's going to cross the long end over the short end and pull it through up close to the neck. And she's going to pull it all the way through. Now she's going to fold it again over, under the neck loop and pull it through again, but she's only going to pull it halfway through. And then the top is going to layer over, and you've got 3 layers for a nice, classy waterfall look. Now, if you're concerned about that staying in place, it's a wonderful place to use a pretty pin to hold all the pieces in place. And you can use a stick pin or a pretty brooch or any kind of pin that you like, and that will definitely stay in place all day long. and looks very classy. Okay, now we're going to go from one of the most difficult to one of the easiest. And this one we call the classy twist. You're going to drape one end over your shoulder, and then you're going to twist it in the center and drape it over the other shoulder. And this is where it helps to have an assistant to tie the ends in the back. And she's going to tie the ends in the middle of the back. And after she does, we'll adjust the drape there. I will mention that you can bunch up the center twist and emphasize the twist itself, pull it closer together, or you can pull it out broadly like Elizabeth has it, and it looks like a really classy drape or wrap for a party, and she'll show you the knot in the back. It's just knotted loosely together in the back, and it looks very elegant. Thank you, Elizabeth. And now we have Channing coming back. What many of us don't know is that, well, we do know that many Muslim women choose to wear the hijab. What we might not know is that there are lots of different ways of wearing one. So Channing is going to share several different ways of wearing a hijab for us today. For the first one, she's going to take both ends. She's going to put it over her head, take both ends, make sure they're equal length. She's going to pin the scarf together under her chin. And then you simply take one end and throw it over your shoulder, and the other end and throw it over the other shoulder. And the end should be somewhat close to equal in the back. So, very nice. For our second option here, we're going to start out making one end a little bit longer than the other end as we put it on. You're going to pin it again under the chin. And the one end, or the short end, you can either leave it hanging down or you can tuck it in under over the other shoulder. And then with the longer side, you bring it across over your shoulder and around the back and bring it down again in the front. So, very nice look. And one last one, I'll mention to you that there are many, many styles. We're just showing you 3 today. Now this one, it needs to be a little bit longer than the others, but with this one, you'll take your scarf and again pin it under the chin. And then pull one side over the shoulder and let it hang like that. Now this style is not as tight around the face, and it might be a little looser, so you can always use a pin on the shoulder if you want to keep it from falling out of place. Again, it's another place to wear a pretty pin. Thank you, Channing. Next, we're moving on to square scarves, and we have Miss Carolyn coming in to show us a couple of options here. Carolyn is going to start with a square scarf and fold it in half so she has a triangle. She's going to pull that long end up towards her neck, take the ends and wrap them around her neck and pull them down in the front for a nice clean look there. Okay, now to a variation on this, she is going to take the 2 ends and tie them up close to her neck and pull out the cowl a little bit, so she's got a nice cowl there and our cowboy girl look, cowgirl look. Okay, thank you. Now Carolyn is going to show us another interesting way to wear a scarf here. She is starting out with another large square scarf. She's going to take two adjacent corners and tie a small knot in them. Then she will do the same on the other end. And then she's going to throw it over her shoulders and put her arms through the holes made. Oh, I think you got it twisted over on the one arm. We got a little assistance coming in here. There we go. Thank you, Miss Annalie, for assisting there. And if you pull it down and drape it over the shoulders, you've got a very classy look we call the kimono. If you turn around and show us the back, see how nice that fits in the back. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Miss Annalie, who's going to show us a classy knot. She's going to start with the scarf in a triangle, and she's going to roll the scarf up from the long end so that we see the edges creeping up the scarf as we fold it up, creating some extra interest there. She's going to place that around her neck. She's going to tie a loose half knot in one end. And then she's going to take the other end and stick it through the top of that knot. And then you can pull down on the side that has the knot in it to tighten up the knot as you adjust it where you want that knot to fall. Very nice, thank you. And I love the way that shows off the different colors and textures in a scarf. Now she's going to try and give us another option with the same scarf. Again, it's in a triangle, fold it to a triangle. She is going to put a knot on either side about halfway down. You want it down far enough so that the knots will be visible in the front when you've finished. Then she's going to do a small knot with the two ends. And you could put this around your neck before you tie the knot, or you could do it like Miss Annalie is doing here. Tie it first and then pull it over your head. And so then you can adjust those knots so that they come down further, and so you can have more of the end of the scarf hanging down the front, or you can have more of the knots showing, either one. And it's wonderful to work it either way. Thank you. And now Miss Carolyn has come back to show us a blanket scarf, which these are so wonderful, and when it's cold and chilly out, they're so warm. She's going to start by making a large triangle, and she's going to put it around her neck and pull the ends down, and perhaps pull them down a little more even. And this is very much like was done with the light scarf, but with the bulky scarf, you see it gives us a little more sense of warmth here. Now for a whole different take on a blanket scarf, Carolyn is going to wrap the long end of the triangle around over her back shoulders. She's going to cross the front over, and then she's going to put a belt on that. This happens to be a stretchy belt, but you can use any kind of belt here. She's going to cross it over, put that belt on. Then if the back gets caught in the belt, you can pull that out. And then it's got a nice shawl-like feeling there, and look how nice it drapes in the back, and how it will keep you warm all winter long. Thank you. Moving on now to our winter scarves, we have Miss Denise coming in with her winter scarf, and the first traditional easy way to wear that is just to drape it around your neck and let it hang. Now if you want to be a little warmer, you can wrap it around your neck and toss one end over over your back and one in the front, or you can pull that end all the way around. And another step to make it a little warmer across the front of your chest, you can tie it into a knot right there and have it hanging down, and either a nice tie or stuff it inside your coat, keep you nice and warm. Now for something a little more decorative, you can take that and wrap it loosely around your neck. And then take the one end, and start wrapping it around the part around your neck. And you just wrap it as far as it will go, and then kind of tuck the ends in so that they're not visible. But this is a good way to show off the texture of your scarf if you have a textured scarf, and it just adds a little interest and keeps you warm at the same time. Thank you, Denise. For our last few things, we have Miss Carolyn back, and she's going to show us here a braided scarf. Now, to do this, take 3 scarves that are close to the same length, and you tie them together in a half knot at one end, and then simply braid to the end. At the other end, you will knot them again, and if they were all the same length, they will all come out the same length. And you tie the ends together. But in this case, we have one end that's a little bit longer, and we're going to use that to tie the ends together instead of using that tuft at the end of those little knots. And I find this works actually a little bit easier. And then you just put it around your neck, and it shows off all different colors and makes for a really nice accessory. You can use a long skinny scarf or a thin scarf as shoelaces. And if you don't want to lace up your shoes all the way, or it's too hard to do, you can just make a knot and make a bow in your scarf and clip it onto your shoes using a paper clip or some other clip. In this case, you see we have an example here, and Miss Carolyn is going to show you how we did this. We're going to take a long skinny scarf and fold it in half, and we're going to put 2 loops in it and tie those loops together. Into a bow, and we'll adjust the bow and fluff it out a little bit, and then use a paper clip. In this case, to clip it onto the front of these shoes. Okay, and this also looks great on the side of your boots. Just like that. Okay, for one last scarf. This being the year of the pandemic, this is probably the most important way you'll wear a scarf this year. We're going to take a simple bandana. We're going to fold it 1/4 the way in on either side. Then we're going to fold one end up to the inside edge of the other side. Then we're going to fold the other side in to the edge. We'll fold the 2 ends to the middle. And we're going to use simple hair ties to put around the ends. For a face mask that will give you at least 5 layers of coverage to keep you safe. So thank you all for joining us in this scarf workshop. Thanks to our models, Elizabeth, Maddie, Channing, Carolyn, Annalie, and Denise, and the rest of our wonderful Ashland staff members for making this program possible. We hope you've had as much fun as we have. Look for more fun and informative programs here on the Pamunkey Regional Library website. Goodbye and have a good day. Bye.